Welcome to the block. I'm your host and author, Ellis, and thank you for stopping by. For those of you that's new to this channel, the block is a community of beautiful, enlightened, energetic, and intelligent residents. And so we offer a variety of perspectives on a variety of topics. I hope by the end of this show, you choose to take up residency by hitting that subscribe button. So let's get into it. Like I said, I'm your host, Ellis, and I have two beautiful guests with me today.
My name is Tonette Slan. I go by Tony at times. You know, some people sometimes don't remember Tonette.
Tonette?
Yes. I'm originally from Savannah, Georgia. I've been in the Atlanta area for a little over 20 years now. I have a 27-year-old son that's in the Navy. So proud of him. He's in Hawaii, so I'm definitely looking forward to visiting him this year. I'm in HR.
Awesome. Okay.
So I have an HR background and also a social work background to a certain extent. I won't tell my age.
Okay, no worries.
Yeah, but that's about it for me. Sum it all up.
I love it.
My name's Rianne Taylor, and that's such a difficult question. Who am I? Face like, who are you? I am woman. I am originally from Seattle. I was born in Seattle, lived in LA, and then I lived in Australia for 17 years.
Oh wow!
So cool. I have 3 kids, 20. He's back in Australia, and then 2 girls, 18 and 16. Wow. I have a very colorful and creative career resume. Long story, but I was actually in full-time church Christian ministry for a very, very long time. Wow. Had some crazy life happenings, and then was raising my kids on my own for 12 years, and worked in many different career arenas, and have recently just been in the corporate world, and I am a musician and an actor.
Yes, she is. Yes, she is. Well, thank you both for being here today. You could have been any place else on this Saturday morning, but you chose to be here. So thank you and welcome to the block.
Thank you. We wouldn't have missed it.
Yay! So I'm always on YouTube. Even though I have a channel, a lot of my mentors reside right in that space, right on that platform. Mm-hmm. So I ran across this story by motivational speaker and author Simon Sinek. I hope I didn't butcher his last name. And he was telling his this audience about an experience he had with one of his close friends. They ran a 5 or 10K in Central Park. It was a hosted, a sponsored event. And at the end of the race, if anyone has ran a sponsored race, there's typically things they'll give away at the end, like bananas, protein bars, and things like that. So at the end of this particular race, one table was giving away bagels. I don't know if you checked on the prices of bagels lately, but if somebody will give me a free bagel,
straight to that table.
I'm taking me a bagel. Right. And so he's like, cool, let's go get a bagel. And his friend was like, do you see that line? That's too long. He was like, but it's a free bagel. And he's like, yeah, but there's so many people. I mean, it's just a crowd of people. I don't feel like waiting in line. And Sam was like, well, once again, we just got done running. We ain't got no place to go. It's a free bagel. The friend said, you do what you want to do. I'm going to the car. So Simon said, well, I'm going to get my bagel. So the point of the story is, in life, some people see the bagel or the thing that they want, and some people see the line, which is the things that keep them from the thing that they want.
Wow. Okay.
Welcome to the block. Today's show is really, what do you see? So asking you all, can you share a time where you prevailed because you focused on your bagel as opposed to the line?
Ooh. Am I allowed to talk about a man?
It's your life. You can steer the narrative however. Whatever bubbles up for you is your true story for that.
Go ahead.
Okay. I'm like, that's a great story, and it's a phenomenal analogy. I think the first thing that came to mind is waiting for my person, if I'm being completely honest.
Okay.
So now y'all know, I think I'm
preaching to some people today.
Yeah, okay. I was married for 10 years. He made some poor choices and left the kids and I we're really cool now. That was 12 and a half years ago. We're really cool now. I have a great relationship. I'm really proud of myself and my kids for the way we've changed what could have been a really terrible narrative. So we're cool. It's amicable and friendly and lovely. So I'm super grateful for that. That's a whole nother podcast for a whole nother day. Yeah, I'm very grateful. And obviously, I was 30, just 30 when it happened, and I was expecting Prince Charming to rock up, maybe 2 years max.
Yeah.
It's been 12 and a half, so here we are.
Just a little late.
Just a tiny bit. Let me tell you, though, I am secretly engaged. Yes.
Congratulations.
You may know him. This is his name is Lenny Kravitz. So
I'm not mad. I'm not mad.
Lots of women be fighting me for that, but let me tell you, I've been waiting for him.
Okay.
I'm a little.
Well, now he knows.
Yeah, now he knows. I'm a little irritated with him because he's a little slow, and all he needs is just to see me, and then it's over. Okay, so we're working on that. But no, for real, like. Lenny, what he represents, I've worked that through with my therapist. And Lenny represents perfection for me. And I've been waiting for perfection. And I've been on a whole journey with my therapist, with my friends, on holding out for my person and not settling because of loneliness. Because alone is lonely. It sucks. But at the same time, holding out for the person that I believe has been created for me, but also not expecting absolute perfection, aka Lenny. So for me, I've dated heaps in these last 12 and a half years, and this is not to be disparaging towards any of those men I've dated because they're all wonderful.
Yeah.
But I think that oftentimes I have a lot of friends that because they don't want to be lonely, they just hook up with somebody and call it quits. And really, that's not the person that they were maybe designed or the best choice for them.
Right.
And I've had a lot of incredible men that I've dated and been proposed to, different things like that. But it wasn't something in my heart was like, this isn't my person. It's not right. But alone is lonely.
Yeah.
So there have been times where I've maybe stayed with someone too long because I don't want to be alone. I am sick and tired of raising my kids on my own. It sucks. Okay? It sucks. Single parenting is not cool. And I have had to learn this journey, and I'm still on this journey of not settling for the quick banana or the quick protein bar, but waiting for my bagel.
Okay.
And I'm still waiting for my bagel.
So you're in line.
So I'm in line.
So you don't see the line because you're actually in the line.
That's exactly right.
Okay.
Exactly right.
Which the line could still be, the fact that you're in the line could be a distraction or obstacle for you.
100%.
Because who told you that you had to wait in the line? I'm going to tell you more on the story, but finish.
No, I love that. No, I mean, this is great. I think, I'm in the line dating, but now it's a balance of waiting for my bagel. I'm not going to go for the protein bar over here because it's a quick line. But also, the bagel isn't still not going to be perfect. It's still not going to be
It's
Lenny.
not toasted. Although it doesn't have cream cheese on it.
It might. Exactly. So for me, that's the first thing that popped up because I'm a romantic. I am not designed to be by myself. I don't need a man. I want one. I want one. Hello, universe.
I love it.
So yeah, I'm putting it out there. But for me, that's
we
the
will
first
drop
thing.
her social media
Right,
information.
right. Lenny, baby, it's time. I'm getting annoyed with you. All right, the time is ticking. All right, my eggs be dying up in here.
I am done.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, that was a good one. My first thought was, what's at the end of the line? Is it even worth the wait? But I also at the same time, there have been times where my impatience have not afforded me the opportunity what was at the end. So we got to be careful. I got to be careful because even sometimes I know me. For a bagel, I wouldn't have stood in the line. I wouldn't. But for maybe a book or some information that I could retain or something that would have helped me, I would have stood in the line for.
Right.
But there are things in life. One of the most recent is just getting my credit repaired. Working through that whole process about 3-4 years ago before I purchased my home.
Okay, congratulations.
And, thank you. But it was a tough and disciplined process that I had to go
focus
through,
on the
but I
bagel.
had to focus on the bagel. During that time, I just focused, and I didn't know I can do it. And actually did more than what I thought I could do. And I was like, okay, I was able to do it. And even in my career, just looking at the fact that you don't have enough experience, you got to wait, you got to start here, and not taking no, and kept knocking on the door, and open. So finally even a window open, and I went through it.
Wow, absolutely.
So it
Yeah,
it all
that's
depends
awesome.
on what's at the end of the line for me. Some stuff I look back at and I'm like, you should have waited. You should have stood at the end of that line.
Yes,
That's
yes.
life lessons, though.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And that's an important thing to extract that lesson.
Yeah.
I love that you talked about career and everything.
Yeah.
I want to offer you all this. I'm gonna give my example.
Okay.
But I'm gonna tell you what the last part to the story. So when Simon went to the line to get the bagel, what he did is walked through the line, reached between two people, reached in the box and grabbed 2 bagels.
Okay.
Oh.
No
Okay.
one was mad because there was no rule that said you had to stand in line.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
And there was also no rule that you had to only take 1 bagel.
Okay.
There was never a rule that said you couldn't go around. You know, have you ever
Yeah.
noticed that? I've been
Yeah,
going. I
that's
went
so-
to the airport before, and I noticed. The line is all the way around the corner.
Right.
And then some say, just go to the left and go up. And I realized people are actually in line behind a parked car. They don't even know
No,
that their car is
right.
not even in line to go up to. So sometimes we put ourselves in lines that are not even, there's no end to it.
Yeah.
preach.
Right,
Okay.
right.
Yes.
Is it an innate common courtesy that
It
some
could-
folks
it
may
could
have?
be. And
so when
some-
you see a line to go around everyone, there's a level of partially entitlement, partially rudeness that some folks may see. But
No,
to your
but
point,
my word today
yeah.
is what we're going to use in 2024 is the audacity.
The-
Have
Yes,
the audacity
I
to
love that.
skip the line.
Okay.
You can still get what it is that you want. Who
But the
said you have to
audacity.
wait in line?
Yeah.
Yes.
Because that perfect person that you may be waiting for, they may not come physically how you believe they should. And maybe you are waiting for something that could make you miss your bagel while all because you're in a line and you don't have to be. You could just reach through those 2 people
I love this.
and grab your bagels and you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Now when you reach through there, what he did say is he had no choice on what type of bagel he got.
Okay.
Right? Because when you're in the front of the line you get to see all the boxes. But when you skip it and reach
Okay.
through,
You
you
can't
just get
see.
what you get.
Okay.
But at the end of the day, your goal was to get a bagel.
Bagel,
Your
okay.
goal wasn't to get a cinnamon raisin bagel or,
was-
yeah,
or
okay.
everything bagel.
Got
it was just
it.
to get a bagel.
Okay.
I
Right?
love that.
I
And
like
then you
that.
can take
Okay.
it home, toast it, and
Toast
put
it.
your cream cheese on
But like the creativity and the grit.
Yeah.
it. That's what
And
that's
the mindset too.
Yeah, and not to conform to what everybody else is doing.
Yeah, who told you to find
Yeah.
love the way you
Right.
find love? Who told you
Yes.
that?
And to fit in that box.
Who told you you
Yes.
couldn't get the job because you didn't have those particular skills?
Right.
Baby, you just fired the person who had those skills.
That's right.
They didn't work out, did they?
Exactly.
So these rules that we play by, who put the rules in
there.
place?
I love that.
I do
You're
too.
right.
This is so good.
My example is going back for my master's degree. I didn't want to complete my master's at the same school that I completed my undergrad.
Okay.
I wanted a different experience. And so I had applied to a few colleges and I didn't get into them because of my GMAT. My scores were not high. And but I was still focused on getting my master's at another institution, even though I went on and enrolled in my undergrad to start my master's program. See, I started the momentum. I was setting in motion to the universe that
Yeah.
this is going to happen. 40 days into my master's program with my undergrad school, I got an email from Georgia State, which was one of the schools I had got, declined.
Okay.
Rejected to go into their master's program from. And they invited me to their master's program night. So you go in and they show you all of the different master programs they have, the length, the time, the requirements and everything. So this was on a night that I didn't have class. I probably would have went even if I had class because I was focused on the bagel.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And my miracle came by me responding to what I had asked for. God sent that email to me, required me to go to that night. And on the elevator ride up, I was on the elevator with the program director and another lady.
Wow.
Oh, wow.
And the lady was asking about the GMAT.
Okay.
Wow.
And she was like, about she just can't take it. She has a problem with tests. She's like, well, have you had professional experience for at least, I'm just giving numbers because can't remember, 7 or 10 years of professional work. She's like, yeah. She said, well, your work could count for in place of the GMAT.
Right.
Wow.
And so I'm in the corner. It's just us 3 on the elevator. So I'm in the corner like,
Say what?
so we got, and just this, 11, 12 floor ride. You know, I had skipped the line.
Wow, that is so
seriously,
incredible.
Seriously, it's like how God put you in a place.
And but how did that happen? For me to even be on the elevator and hear that? Because I would have never asked that throughout the evening.
Yeah, you would not even ask that.
Yeah, you wouldn't have known to ask that.
And so when we got off the elevator, I asked the program director before she could go into the crowd if I could speak to her for a minute, and told her I had applied and I was declined, and I know it was because of my GMAT scores, because I had everything else, you know, blah, blah, blah. My undergrad scores, you know, grades were good, everything. And she said, how long did you apply? I said, it was 5 months ago. So she said, okay, here's my card. Send me an email with your name and all of that stuff. I sent it to her as soon as I got to work the next morning. She called me that evening. And she said, okay, so good news, your information is still in the system because it was so recent. So you need to resubmit an application, pay the application fee, and add your resume. So about, I don't know, I'm just, because I can't remember the dates, the time frame. It wasn't that long. I'm sitting at home on a day off, and I'm watching TV, and I have my computer. You know how you have all the tabs open?
Right.
I saw the little red notification on my email. And I just, you know, like, you got an email. So I clicked it, and child, why did it say, congratulations, you're welcome. I'm baby.
That's amazing.
We're talking within less than a year. There was a no. And then there was a congratulations.
Wow.
Yes.
When you focus on that bagel.
Yep.
I didn't specify I had to go to this school.
Right.
I just wanted a different experience
Yeah.
than what I had in my undergrad.
Wow.
And the universe, God, however, I don't want to box anyone in, provided it because I was focused on the bagel.
Yeah. Amazing.
Wow.
To hell with the obstacles, right?
Yeah.
Right.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah.
To hell with what's normal, because the normal route is you have to have, if you're out of high school, you have to have your good ACT, SATs, and all this stuff. If you're transferring to a master, you get GMAT. All of these things, there are ways to get what you want.
What's intended for you.
Exactly.
And that was such divine serendipity, divine synchronicity that you were in that elevator at the right time to hear that conversation.
To hear that information.
Yeah.
You know, and then I just even, you know how many emails we get?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
This came to my Yahoo. I don't know about you, but I get about 50 million emails a day. The fact that I even saw that email.
Yeah.
You know. So this is just an inspiration for those that's feeling stuck. Like they keep starting and stopping, and they've been on this treadmill for years and haven't gotten any advancement because maybe you are too focused on the things that keep you from the things that you want.
So good.
You know?
So good.
Perfect. So now I'm going to flip it. Now tell us about a time where you did focus on the line and it didn't work. You failed. Now, failure is just an opportunity to go back and do things better.
Right.
And if you can't think of anything, I could start off just to get the juices flowing. But yeah.
I would have to say a relationship, opposite to what you say. Focusing on something, thinking this is going to be it. This is my one. We're going to be one. You know, being divorced, I was married before. And like to your point, I don't need a man, but you do desire that companionship. But I was in a relationship where I was just so focused on that relationship working. And I'm in the line to get to that bagel. And then realize you get up to that line and you're like, bagel's stale.
Oh, it's only half a bagel left.
Yeah, like, there's no cream cheese. Okay.
That bagel don't look like Lenny.
Yeah, right. So, you know, just kind of really analyze, to your point, doing all the things supposedly what we're supposed to do, but then who set that rule? And I was following the rules and the steps of what that next step of marriage or the next step in that relationship looks like, and it didn't work.
It didn't work.
And then I go back and I look at it like, okay, Tonette, you should have saw that as you were standing in the line. Because as you stand in the line, there's so many other things that you get to see.
Yeah.
That you'll probably avoid because you're so focused on that bagel. So for me, I would have to say a relationship that I thought it was the end all be all for that.
Oh wow!
And it did not happen. So
you went into the relationship with a plan.
With a plan.
This is my husband. We're going to be happily ever after.
There's no one else. I didn't see nothing else outside of that relationship.
Wow. So do you think that in your failure, you focused on? I'm just trying to interpret what it sounds like to me. I don't know why you are divorced. I won't get into that. This is my man. This is
after the divorce. This is after me going into marriage, just looking for
trying to fix it.
Yeah. Well, no. After divorce, that's over.
Okay.
No more going back into that piece
Okay.
of it. I'm in a relationship, whereas the companionship, I want that in the marriage again. I want that, right? So that
You're
part.
forcing it.
And then in the beginning, you do look at it as failure, but then you see when you see you're out of the clouds now, and you see the full picture.
Yeah.
It's like,
You
with
can
the
take a
blessing.
holistic view
Yeah,
of it.
you
They're
take a
like,
whole,
okay.
you had your head in the clouds the whole time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's another show I'm going to do. It's called Reading the Room. I always said that in my life it felt like the people closest to me never knew how to read my room. You know, so like know what you really need, and maybe I think sometimes relationships bump up against that. We can't read our partner's room because we're trying to put them into our room.
Exactly.
You know, like he just need a listening ear, and you're giving direction. So you're not reading his room, and he's
That's
not
really
reading
good,
yours.
yeah.
So that, I mean, it sound like you were focused on a bagel.
Right.
But at the time, you should have just been content with the line because there was a process for you on the way.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So, hey, we all been there.
Yes. Just thinking, I think I'm going to try to keep this brief, but growing up from a very young age to into my teenage years, I knew what I wanted to do in life. I knew what my set of skills and gifts were, and I knew where I wanted those to take me. And that was very much to do with music and theater. Yeah. And so I was on that trajectory. I was being earmarked for things. I was like, I'm gonna be on Broadway. Everybody watch.
She's amazing, by the way.
Thank you, man. Had some incredible opportunities. And then something happened in life where a group of people decided that, no, you are better suited for this. And I, being young and naive, wanted to please people very much. I was a people pleaser, wanted to make everybody happy, felt like their voices were the voice of God in my life. And so I got married at 19 and then was in this full-time, Christian ministry, which is great for some people, but it wasn't necessarily what I probably should have been doing, not based on the desires of my heart and where I wanted to go. So, and I'm grateful. I have 3 amazing kids. I'm grateful for all of that. I'm grateful for my ex. I'm grateful for our time together. I'm grateful for the lessons that I needed apparently to learn. But I think for me, I've always struggled with regret and feeling like a failure because I didn't do what I knew in my heart I wanted to do, what made me most alive, what made me come most alive. And that's singing, and that's writing, and that's producing, and that's acting, that's being on stage, film. And so, we had 10 years in the ministry, and then choices were made, and then I was raising my babies on my own, and I couldn't focus on me. It was about surviving and then figuring out how to thrive once surviving. And so I did that, and that's great. And then you kind of come into this next chapter of my life. My kids are a bit older. Lenny, I still do want a baby though. That's why we need to hurry, because I'm not getting any younger. So the eggs are dying. All right, jeez.
We're not serving these for dinner. We're keeping these for babies.
Yeah, right. So anyway, so now it's been the season, and part of moving to Atlanta was, it's a community of actors and theater and the kind of music that I like, and it's now focusing on doing what I feel like I was always meant to do. Now, I'm not going to get the roles of the young teenagers anymore. God damn. I'm not,
Who said you could?
Well,
who said you
all
could?
right. Thank you.
There go that line again.
Don't put that out there, remember.
You're right. No, you're right.
Okay.
But what I'm
Sounds
saying
like a
is
line.
it looks differently. My bagel now looks differently. It's still a bagel. It's still what I want. Now, I may or may not earn a Grammy or an Emmy or an Oscar. I would love to, but 0.0001% get to that stage. But I can still get my bagel. It's going to look differently. And for me, that's where I'm at. And I think the biggest key that I've learned is being present, because I focus so much on the past and my regret and feeling like I'm a failure and I missed my chance. I missed my boat. That's the biggest thing that I have to retrain my mind to not live there, to not go there. But the bagel's probably going to look different than it was going to look when I was 14 or 15. And that's okay. But I'm back on that path. And the biggest thing for me is being present, not looking to the past. If I look too much to the future, I also get discouraged because I'm like, well, why don't I have this yet? Why am I not there yet? You're failing, Ree, because you're not doing this. No. Doesn't mean I don't want those things and believe in those things for myself. But if I just be present and take every elevator door that opens, because it's, for me, it's those serendipitous moments, the people that I meet. I mean, it's a miracle to me how I meet any of the people that I meet, how I met you guys, you know, through our friend. And to me, it's just, if I just stay present, divine, the universe, source, God will open up the doors, the elevator doors. All I got to do is just walk through them.
Right through.
Whatever I needed to learn, whoever I needed to meet in that elevator. That's why I love that analogy, because I think so often in our life, those elevator doors open and we don't, oh, well, that's not me being presented with a Grammy, or that's not Lenny Kravitz on the other side, you know, but I don't.
It's too crowded.
Or it's too crowded. But and Divine's going, girl, I open this elevator door, get your ass in there, because that elevator door is going to lead to this elevator door. It's going to lead to this. And it's that journey and that process. So for me, it's just, I got to be present. I can't focus on my past failures. I can't focus even too much on the future, because then I feel like, how am I going to get there? It's taking too long. Just be now, here and now, and walk through whatever elevator door happens to open to get my bagel.
Yes.
That was so amazing what you just said, because how many people really don't be in the moment? You know, I have a saying that I tell myself, this is no longer happening. Because you keep focusing on what happened, and you, like you said, you can't be in the moment.
Right.
And you can catch yourself when you're having conversations, as you see your friends and your family, you get into those conversations, you know who are not in the moment.
Yes.
And it's so once you get to a point, it's like an epiphany, like, wow. Just enjoy it. You know, even from something happened yesterday, it's not happening today.
That's so
true. So that was so true what you just said.
Well, I also think it prevents us, like, if my goal is, obviously this is such a ridiculous joke, but if my goal is Lenny, if my goal is, it looks like this,
Why can't you have Lenny?
Right. You're telling yourself.
No, well, you know. But if
I heard a lot of lying conversations from you, Miss Lady. We're gonna have to address that.
All right, I got you.
You're gonna have to tell us what 14-year-old success looked like compared to what today's success look like. What is the difference? You keep saying it's gonna look different.
Well, you know, I'm a little bit older. You know, you're right though. You're right. No, you're right. No, that's true. Okay, slap myself on the wrist.
So
and
you
learn.
You can hit her too. We fight each other on this show.
It's true, but there you go. I'm still learning. I'm still training the most powerful weapon I have, which is my mind.
Absolutely.
But I think too, like for me, like just saying, like being present. If I'm so focused on the future, I'm not in my mind. I'm not going to be happy till I have that. Well, that's a lie. I'm happy right now because I choose to live in the present and be happy with whatever I have now. So for me, that's also something I gotta figuring out.
Absolutely.
Well, you're doing great. You have a great energy. When invited you are, you all have great energy, and it's important that people who, you know, are. I always like to say my hashtag is, when going through hell, keep walking. For you may get singed, but you won't be consumed. And I understand the whole looking towards the future, because sometimes when you're looking too far advanced, you miss that door because it doesn't look like the future. Oh, those people raggedy on that elevator. I'm not getting on that. Oh, they get on there. Oh my God, I don't belong, because they're too proper on the elevator.
Right.
So sometimes you just be aware and accept the opportunities. I believe, especially in this day and age, it's such a wonderful time to be alive.
Yes.
You have people who are famous, have put out their manuscripts, put out their movies because of our social media platforms.
That's true.
So it has kind of leveled the playing field, where there was only one way to get a book published. There was only one way to get a song recorded. Now the power is with the people. So you are who you say you are. If there's any delay in what it is you are trying to get, it's because there is a germination season for you, and you haven't become the future person yet. So there's some work to be done. So it has nothing to do with outside, factors. It's like, dang, what is it? Where do I need to work on? How do I, I always like to use health and wellness as an example, because no matter how sexy you are, everybody's trying to still improve.
Exactly.
That's so true.
And it's like when you start your health journey and you're trying to lose weight, it didn't take 4 minutes to gain extra 40 pounds, so it's not going to take 4 minutes to lose it.
Yeah.
Right.
But it could take 4 minutes to change your mindset that I am a healthy person. So what would a healthy person do?
Yeah.
A healthy person drinks water, gets sleep, take their supplements and their nutrition, they eat properly, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
They disconnect from electronics and social media to have that mental peace.
Yeah.
Like they do what healthy people do.
Right.
So ask yourself, as you're focusing on your bagel, to differentiate if you're focused on the bagel or the line, are you doing the things to get the bagel?
Right.
Are you reaching between the two people, or are you in line saying, I'm going to wait because I know it's going to look different?
It's good.
That's true. Yeah.
Just reach them.
In between.
I love that.
For my example, where I focus on the line was in my career. About a year and a half ago, I was interviewing because I was unhappy with my current position. And I'm in project management. And I had several interviews. And when you get to a certain level, the interviewing process is excruciating.
Yes.
I mean, excruciating. My current position, it was 7 hours. I interviewed with 7 people. COOs. It was just, as soon as I got through one round, she's like, okay, we got one more. I'm like, I promise you, I'm keeping everybody's name, because if I don't get this job, I'm kicking everybody's ass when I get trust and believe. You ain't finna just get this free money from me. But before I came to my current company, I was vetted by Deloitte. I don't know if you know who they are. So I was just like, if you get them on your resume or PwC,
it's
amazing. Yeah.
So I did so good in my first 2 interviews. I was actually interviewing with my team and that manager, and my last interview was with their manager. And I was doing good because I was focused on the bagel. I'm getting that on my resume. Even if I work for y'all for 3 days, I'm getting that on my resume. And unfortunately, they gave me the background of the person who was be my director, and he worked in the White House for 2 administrations. So I was he had an extremely impressive resume.
Wow.
Yeah. Wow.
I could not get that out of my head.
Because it was intimidation.
I was very intimidated.
Okay.
Yeah.
I felt like I wouldn't, how do I have a conversation with him?
Yeah.
But he didn't do that to me.
Right.
That part.
He didn't put the line. He said, you made it this far, woman.
Yeah.
And I don't even know if I said my name right.
Because once you heard those accolades, it would have just did something for you.
I didn't get any sleep the night before. Because, I always do my research on a person.
Yeah.
Plus, the people before me had given me, information on him. And then my recruiter started running down all these bullet points. And I was just like, why would you do that to me?
Yeah.
Wow.
Like, you should have just told me how long he was with
It's
like saying you're about to interview with, the president or your biggest celebrity crush or whatever.
Right.
Just don't do that. And it just, I bombed because I focused on the line. The bagel was the job was nowhere in sight. In that whole interview, it was
just
who I was talking to.
Yeah.
Got you. Okay.
So but I did it to myself. I got into my mind, so we were speaking mindsets, and this is our worst enemy. The man didn't do anything to me. He was kind, he was polite. To me, he felt intimidating, but that was the presence I gave him. It's not like he showed up. I put that line there.
Yeah.
So we got to be careful. We're missing out on love opportunities.
Yes.
We're missing out on financial gains. We're missing out on efficiency wins. We're missing out on
business
opportunities. So
much,
much, because sometimes people do give too much information, but we got to I should have just said, okay, now, God, what you want me to do with this information? Just give me the words to say. Because I always
look at him just as
can you just take it? So so
That's a good.
That's a good one.
I was focusing on the line, all the obstacles. Like, oh my God, it's nothing I could say right. This man has been around extremely intelligent people.
You was thinking in your problem mind, what can you say to him to impress him?
Right, what can I do?
That he has, and not knowing.
Faye, you got here because everybody before you were impressed. That's how you got to this.
Yeah.
And I was horrible. I felt it as soon as I got off. So pay attention to how you all show up in
yeah.
each scenario in your life, because we think it's outside factors that these things are happening to me. No, these things are happening within us.
Exactly.
Yeah,
So-
that's true. That's really good.
So yeah. So for those who are struggling with focusing on the bagel, and the bagel is just an analogy for whatever
Right.
it is
Yeah.
that you want in life, and you find yourself constantly being bombarded with thoughts of the line, I would encourage you to have a plan. How do you plan on obtaining the bagel?
Right.
And how important is the bagel to you? Because sometimes we focus on the line because the bagel is something somebody else wants us to have.
Ooh, okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So that's why we never get it, because deep down we really don't want it. So we're okay with standing in the line because it shows action for those people who
Right, who
expect
sees
us
us.
to be
So good.
reaching for the bagel. So make sure when you create the plan that your plans are surrounded about things that's for your purpose, because we're all here for our own individual
right.
purpose. And in tandem with that, we always have to be developing ourselves.
Yeah.
Reading books, listening to documentaries, sitting still, getting that self-awareness, understanding, because sometimes things shift.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And we miss elevator doors as well because we're so busy doing all this busy stuff
Yeah, that's
Right.
true.
that's providing us no results. So invest in yourself.
Yeah.
When failure comes, as we all identify, we may have failed in some area. Failure is just an opportunity to do it again better with
Yeah.
the knowledge,
Yeah.
right?
Right.
Absolutely.
So no one learns from constantly winning.
That part.
True.
That is so true.
Although I could take a few more wins. I promise I'll learn.
A little sprinkles here and there,
Yeah.
but it is the grit
though.
and the
Yeah.
nitty gritty
Yeah.
of rejection, of
Yeah,
not
yeah.
getting the bagel on the first try. You know what
Right,
I'm
right.
saying? It's just Kobe Bryant was Kobe Bryant because of all the sacrifices he
Yeah,
made
that's right.
to have a golden bagel, right?
Right.
Yeah.
While you out partying, taking pictures, and you
Yes.
sleeping, I'm in the gym, boo.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Focus.
I'm focused.
Yes.
I know what I see the line. I know the obstacles. It's some little kid on the playground right now who looking to take my spot. He ain't getting it, right? So he know
Right.
there's obstacles. So
Right.
what do? You work in the off season.
Yeah.
So just develop yourself mentally and physically. I know way too many people that spend too much time in the gym and have not read a book since high school.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. That is true.
That
yeah.
is true.
I'm sorry. I don't know
Yeah.
what type of. That's just not my jam. Read a
Yes.
book. They even have Audible, so
Audible.
somebody will read it to you.
Yes.
That's
I'm so
Can't get no
right
easier
now.
than that.
Yes.
Yeah.
Ultimately, keep going. Like I said before, when going through hell, keep walking. That's the only way to get on the other side of it, right? If you win the line, keep standing. Just walk through it.
Yeah.
Or you may get tired of standing the line because you're there so long, you observe and be like, where's that lady who was behind me? Or blah, blah, blah. Let me just go ahead and, can I
Right.
go around? Is this the only line? You know
Yeah.
what
Yeah. That's
Maybe it's multiple lines, right?
Right.
That's good.
So just keep going. Don't stop before the breakthrough. A lot of us talk ourselves out of wins and success because just before the root is about to break through the ground, we give up. So that persistence, that consistency,
Yeah.
Surrounding ourselves with like-minded people,
Yeah,
it
so
definitely
good.
helps reinforce
Absolutely.
it, right?
Absolutely.
So ultimately, just get your damn
There you
bagel.
go. We're gonna get out of there.
Oh yes. Oh yes.
And the last thing is just
Heard.
repeat, because once you get to one level, there is going to always be another level. We are
Right.
humans. We are designed to continue to grow and flourish.
Absolutely.
If you're not growing, you are dying.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I
So
agree with that.
You ever watch
So
a flower? As soon as it gets to the ultimate, blossom, then
Yeah.
it starts withering away, right?
Exactly.
Because that's its purpose. It's done its job.
Yeah. Yeah.
But we don't know what our complete is, so keep on going to the next
So
level.
good. I feel so encouraged and edified.
Right.
It was like I
Right.
knew I needed to hear these things today. I really did. So
Words
I'm
of affirmation.
super grateful to be here. Thank you.
Yeah.
I appreciate
Same
you all
here.
being
Definitely
here.
thankful. The words of affirmation.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It was good to hear.
Yeah.
And being in the moment.
Yeah.
Living in the moment.
Yeah.
That could be definitely a hashtag,
Exactly.
right?
Yeah.
Now I'm not Simon, so I'm not as bold to go in and reach through. But Faye is always gonna get her bagel.
Bagel.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yes?
Yes.
I am persistent. When I want something, nothing is gonna stop me.
Absolutely.
I have had I don't know if either one of you read my book, I have a copy for you all here
Please,
today.
because I didn't even know. I'm so
Right.
excited.
Yeah, I'm excited about that too.
Yeah.
But I believe just reading the story that it does, it shows determination.
Yeah.
Sometimes I didn't know where I was headed, but it was always this feeling that I had some place to go. I had a bagel, right? So giving up was just not an option.
Yeah.
There you go.
Love that.
Yeah, and so some people to kind of put us in the mindset of where we want to be in life. So this young lady, Hadea Broadbent, she was born with HIV/AIDS, who just passed away.
That, yeah.
Spent nearly her entire life as an advocate for HIV and AIDS awareness and prevention. Jeff Bezos. Do you all know how Amazon started?
Yes.
He just went online to find a book. He couldn't find a book online.
Yeah.
And the rest is history.
That's amazing.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's a hell of a bagel.
That's
Yeah.
right. That's a serious bagel.
That is a hell of a bagel. Tyler Perry,
Yeah.
whether you like his work or not, this is a man who was abused growing up, didn't have anything, slept in his car,
Right.
threw shows to empty audiences,
Yeah.
and kept going. Whether you like his work or not, he
Gotta
is a
respect.
glory.
Oh,
Yeah.
You
I
gotta
gotta
respect
Absolutely.
the
ethic,
focus
the
on
work.
the bagel.
Yeah.
And what these people had in common, these three people, is they didn't care what they look like in pursuit of their bagel. Sometimes we don't get our bagel because we have to look cute.
Right. What it looks like.
We
on
have
the
to have a
outside.
filter on the
Yeah.
entire journey. And sometimes you just got to go in hiding, do your thing,
Right.
True.
and emerge, victorious.
Exactly.
So good. Yeah.
So the question is, are you going to focus on your bagel or the line? Because that is connected to your legacy. What legacy would you like to leave?
And that's the part you gotta keep telling yourself.
That's so good.
Keep reminding yourself.
Daily.
Yeah.
Hourly sometimes.
Exactly. That's true.
Moment, every
Yeah,
moment.
every
Yeah.
minute,
So
yeah.
those who did choose to focus on their bagels are the people that we speak about. They are legends.
Yeah.
They really are.
I love that what you said. That's just really resounded with me. Just that it doesn't matter what it looks like. You're gonna look ugly sometimes.
You're gonna look
it's
ugly
gonna
sometimes.
look. You're gonna be humbled. It's humbling sometimes. It's maybe even embarrassing sometimes.
You're going to sleep in your car.
Yeah,
You're going to
whatever
foreclose
that-
on your house. You're going to
Right,
get a
whatever.
divorce. You're going to
Yeah.
have a miscarriage. You're
Right.
going to
Yeah.
have some medical issues. You know what I'm saying? You're going to gain this weird weight you didn't know where it came
Right,
from, and you've been an
yeah.
athlete all your life. You're going to
Exactly.
lose some people along the way. But that's just life.
Yeah.
That is
The
like-
bagel is still there if you want it,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
A lot of us just let all of life keep us from the
From it,
bagel.
Yeah.
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 And then you have no story to be told once you're no longer here.
That part.
So I want to still be screaming from the grave.
Yeah.
What up, folks?
I love that.
I do too. That's awesome.
Ladies, it has been nothing short of greatness hanging out with you
Yes,
today.
same.
So I really appreciate it. Now, we still have vacancies on the blog.
Okay.
So get comfortable and move in by subscribing, hitting that subscribe button to the channel. Like the video, comment below, and please share this content with that one person you know needs to hear it. Until next time, I'm your girl, your host, Arthur F. Ellis. Best of life to you all. Peace.